There are moments when the soul quietly lets us know we are standing on sacred ground, not because everything changes overnight, but because something within us has become ready. Hi, my name is Nancy Vellante. I am the founder of The Whispering Soul. I'm an astrologer and certified wellness coach. So, welcome back. And today I want to do, it's a little bit different today, I think. I'm guided to do a personal reflection um, on the solar eclipse that we'll be having. But I'm kind of taking this out of the natural progression, if you will. Lionsgate, which let me explain what that is real quick. The Lionsgate that we are going to experience on August 8th, always, 2026. So this is a symbolic portal of energy that happens every year, and it's been happening for thousands of years in many different cultures around the world and in many different ways. So, in the modern alignment of the Lion's Gate, the sun, and this is how it always is aligned, the sun is in Leo, and the star Sirius is prominent in the sky. And that lines up with the Great Pyramid. So, spiritually, it represents a time to reconnect with your inner light, your heart, because we're in Leo season, and the courage to embody who you are becoming. So, that is the Lion's Gate, and that'll be on August 8th, always on August 8th, and I will do a podcast just on that. But I am really guided today to do a personal reflection on the solar eclipse in Leo, which we'll be experiencing on August 12th, 2026. And I'm feeling it already, so I guess that's why my energy is moving towards that. I actually did a short Sunday on the Lion's Gate, thinking that it was August 8th. So I had to go back, I had to delete everything, and I had to like really sit down and ground myself in the time frame, because I think that timelines are really merging, they're expanding, they're contracting. So I've got myself, excuse me, a little bit doing the solar eclipse a week before, and then the Lion's Gate I'm going to do after, which is okay. They all run in together. So the solar eclipse, again, is in Leo on August 12th, 2026. And this feels like one of those moments. I know it does for me. And I'm Aquarius, so I'm really feeling that access, that polarity point of the nodes between Leo and Aquarius, which I really love. And I've done the podcast on that, on the nodes. I've also written a lot that you can look at in my other platforms, Instagram and Facebook, on the nodes. And that access point is really Aquarius, community, Leo, creativity, just to make it down to its simplest form. And we'll be experiencing that again for 18 months. So, as I reflect on my own chart yesterday, I don't experience this eclipse as an ending or a beginning. I experience it as a remembrance. Sagittarius rising, which is what I have, is on the eastern horizon of my birth chart, making me a lifelong seeker. Sometimes that's exhausting and sometimes that's invigorating. My journey has never been about collecting answers. It has been about following questions that lead me deeper into the mystery of being human. Every season of my life has asked me to expand my understanding, soften my certainty, and trust that wisdom reveals itself one experience at a time. My son is in Aquarius, which he lives in the third house, where communication becomes a bridge between people. Very important to me. my voice, which has been my biggest healing in this lifetime. It reminds me that my voice is not here to convince, but to connect. I didn't realize that until very recently. It is here to translate the language of the heavens into something the heart can recognize. And that's 25 years worth of work and healing and doing my inner work. Through writing, conversations, podcasts, consultations, and the simple act of listening, I have come to understand that words become sacred when they help another person remember who they truly are. That means so much to me. The Leo eclipse illuminates my ninth house, which the third and the ninth house are axis points, polarity points. The house of inner wisdom, spiritual understanding, and the philosophy that guides a life. Because the sun rules this house in my chart, because Leo is on the cusp, this eclipse feels deeply personal to me. As I clear my throat, it asks me not what I know, but what I have become through what I have lived. Pluto is in Virgo in my ninth house and has taught me that the truth is never static. Every belief I've outgrown has made room for a deeper one. Through my own life, through my work, every season of loss, uncertainty, and renewal has become part of the curriculum my soul chose long before I arrived here. Wisdom is not something I possess or we possess. It is something that continues to transform in me, in you, in us together. Jupiter, the ruler of my chart, not to get so astrologically, but just a little bit, but really listening to the words, rests in Scorpio in my 11th house. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius and Uranus. It reminds me that transformation is rarely meant to be experienced alone. Healing ripples through relationships, communities, and shared stories. And that's really been my life, even though there's many times I have to go after being within community, after teaching, after sharing my stories, and being with different people of all walks of life. I need to come back home to myself, to my private understanding of taking care of my nervous system. And we all right now in this time, as we have Uranus in Gemini, and Pluto in Aquarius, taking care of our nervous system. That's our map. That's the map of our inside, of our working together, soul, spirit, mind, body. So the communities we gather in become mirrors for us. They help us recognize parts of ourselves we could never discover in isolation. And that is that North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo axis. When I put all these pieces together, and this has just been happening really since yesterday, I realize that this eclipse is not asking me to create a new path, because I got to be honest with you. You know, the eclipses, oh my God, something's going to be revealed. Something's going to be released. Okay, I'm bracing myself. I'm ready for the change. I'm ready for a new beginning. And I'm not learning that this go-round. I'm not feeling that. It is asking me to trust the one I have already been walking. Wow. I feel that in my gut. That's huge. I wish I would have learned that younger, but it wasn't meant to be. So I have to accept. The Whispering Soul has never been simply about astrology, even though I talk about it a lot. It's my platform. It's where my language, I communicate. It has always been about helping people come home to themselves. My whole life has actually been about that through teaching in the inner city, through teaching in many different communities, through dance, through theater, through writing, through just being with people, with children, adolescents. Astrology is the language that I came into learning when I was 16. And it's been back and forth, and I've done many different things. But now, the last 10 years, it's really become a part of my voice. And it's taught me that the soul is the teacher in all of us. The body is the compass. And you have to pay attention to the compass, right? Or we get lost. And we are going to get lost. It's okay. Because that sends us in new directions and new paths and connects us with new people, new experiences, right? So the body is the compass. The soul is the teacher. And what this season of Leo and this axis point, the North Node and South Node in Leo, is teaching us the heart is the guide, not the ego. Not the wanting to be seen because you want to be seen, because you want to be validated, but you want to be seen because you have a heart that wants to connect with other hearts and a light inside that heart and expressing from that heart that wants to connect with other people's light. That's what changes the world. That's a big statement, but I believe it. As the Leo eclipse opposes my Aquarius sun, which is in the sun is in the third house, Leo will be transiting my ninth house. I feel invited to bring these two energies into harmony. Aquarius reminds me that my work serves the collective. Leo reminds me that it must first come from my own authentic heart. And it's taken a lot of healing through my own trauma, through my own miscommunications, misconnections in my own life, through friends, family, colleagues, people I've met for just a day that changed my life in some manner or form. Perhaps this is the true invitation of this eclipse. I'm coming from a different angle, and I love it. I've never said that before. Usually when I come from a different angle, I'm like, oh no, what will happen? Will it be okay? Will I be all right? Will people accept it? I'm not doing that right now, but I'm not doing that for the reasons that I want to just be authentic with this work. So this eclipse, I want to stop and ask myself, am I ready? Am I ready to stop measuring my worth by what remains unfinished? To recognize that every conversation, every consultation, every article, every podcast, every tear, every moment of joy, and every lesson life has offered has been preparing me for this chapter. Many years to come to that feeling, embodiment, and I'm working on it as we speak. This eclipse does not whisper that I need to become someone else. I think I've been trying to do that my whole life. It whispers that it is time to become more fully myself, right here, right now. So as I step into the next season, as we step into the next season, I carry one simple intention. And I offer this to whoever's listening, is a connection, a communication, a community. To continue seeking wisdom with humility. To continue sharing it with compassion. To continue creating spaces where others remember they already carry within them the light they have been searching for. Perhaps that has always been the purpose of the Whispering Soul. I'm learning. I'm listening. I'm connecting. Not to tell people who they are, no. I've learned that the hard way. But to gently remind them of what their soul has always known. That's what this solar eclipse is moving me towards. That's the portal I'm walking through. So as I talk about the solar eclipse today, which is August 12th, I will circle and come back to the Lion's Gate next week. I find that very interesting, but I'm going to go with it because I think that they both guide each other in a really beautiful way. So I hope you resonate with even a sentence or two of this podcast today. It's something I haven't done. I've never done a personal reflection, but I find it to be true in this point of where we are cosmically, which the cosmos are talking to us loud and clear. And you don't have to know astrology. As I say, all you have to do is look up to the sky. There really is a solar eclipse. There really is a Lion's Gate because the cosmos are aligning. And they always do in many different ways. And they do it over and over again. That's what's so beautiful. But as they realign each year, each decade, for each thousands of years, they do it in a different way, in a different consciousness because it's evolving within us. We are the microcosm of the macrocosm of this beautiful cosmology that we are very privileged to experience. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are. It's because you're human. So I leave you today with that. And if you would like a astrology consultation to know where the solar eclipse might be guiding you and activating you, you could reach me on my website, thewhisperingsoul.net, or you could email me, nancy@thewhisperingsoul.net. I would love to hear from you. And I would love to keep the conversation going. I think it's a really powerful eclipse, as they always are. And I just wanted to mention, every time that we have a solar eclipse, it's a new moon. So solar eclipses are always new moons. Lunar eclipses are full moons. So this new moon is not only planting seeds, but it's allowing us to go deeper into our soul self. So with that said, have a lovely day or evening wherever you are in the world, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.